This is it, episode 507, No Laugh Track podcast here at Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is Justin Severson, the host who gets to be here, a lucky guy, each and every week to hang out with people like this. One of my favorite people that's here almost every year. We've missed a few. Let's not get into that.
We missed a couple of days.
It's Kevin Bozeman's here. He's back.
What's
KB.
going on? How are you?
Very good. Very, very good. You know, I would recognize you without the KB hat, but I expect it, and I'm glad you never change. You always have the KB hat on when I see you.
If somebody's got to represent my brand.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of people with KB, with the initial KB, that's trying to get one of these. And no, but then it was even worse of people that want the hat, and their name is not KB at all. I'm just like, your initial's not even there. If I just want a hat, I go, no. I don't even know what the negotiations starting thing is if you don't have the same initials as me.
When people see you wearing the KB hat, like on an airport or something, does anybody go, oh, let me guess, Castle Rock?
They always ask me what the KB stands for.
Because K is, what stands for K?
Everybody always thinks it's more than not, I get kind bud.
Of course. Yeah, KB.
Kind bud.
Of course.
And I don't correct them.
No.
Whatever they say.
That's right, yeah.
Big fan of the toy store.
That's right, yeah.
KB toy store. Kind bud, whatever.
It's a throwback to the toy.
Whatever it takes for you to not have a conversation with me, I will agree to.
Well, along those lines, when you get in a Uber and they ask you what you're in town for, do you say?
No, very seldom. Very seldom do I tell people what it is I do, unless I see like a benefit toward it. But more than likely, I just tell people I do. I don't even tell people I do comedy. I tell people I teach.
Teach?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess technically,
yeah,
you have taught.
I have, and I still do. So it's not like I'm lying to them. I just would rather not get into a conversation.
Except when
it's so weird.
Except when they ask what you teach, and then you have to make up another story.
Writing.
It's just as far as they're going to deep. You just vague.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
I teach, like, every answer is just a subtle little way of saying, leave me alone.
Conversation
without being
done.
rude. Leave me alone.
Yeah, for sure. So by the time we get, this isn't going to, the show is sold out. So me mentioning Taylor Swift being in town versus Kevin Bozeman is not going to send people to go see Taylor Swift over Kevin Bozeman.
No. But I think it's on a talent spectrum, it's balanced.
That's what I was getting.
She's got a little bit bigger fan base, but it's balanced on the talent.
So I was looking on the secondary market right now for the shows this weekend. An obstructed view ticket right now, you can get at the secondhand sites, $600 for a bad view.
Or you could just play our CDs and look at a poster.
Yes, I like it.
Just download some Google images and play our albums.
And
same thing.
And we have seating here. There's still a few seats left for Kevin Bozeman at Acme.
Yes, come out and support.
Much better.
We're basically selling air conditioning right now because it's hot as fuck out there.
And if you'll notice, if you're watching the video of this, we're comfortable. I'm comfortable.
Super comfy.
Yeah,
super comfy. I might just stay here until showtime. I might. This might not be the wardrobe to rock, but
have you ever performed? Do you perform in shorts ever? Or do you have a rule against that?
Nope. No shorts.
No shorts.
No shorts. Like I don't dress up besides matching hat and shoes.
Come on.
But other than that, no shorts.
When's the last time you wore a suit on stage?
Oh, yeah, great. Probably last year I was doing a corporate tour in Canada. So I was wearing suits. And then sometimes on a cruise ship I might rock a blazer.
I was just going to bring that up. So I saw on your schedule you got some cruise ships coming up.
Cruise ships is like you ever see Lord of the Rings, like in the end when Frodo didn't actually die, they just sent him off to a ship. That's how it is for comics. Our career's not over. They just send us off to cruise ships.
Stop.
To go out there.
No.
They do. They do. No, I like doing it because I pick and choose which ones I want to do.
Yeah.
when I want to work on my clean sets, it's always good to do those shoots. And then there's some places that I want to go to, and then I can just go on somebody else's dime.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to go to Cozumel. I don't have to now I no longer have to plan this whole trip. I could just work for the cruise ship, and then they send me to Cozumel.
How long is a normal trip for you on those?
4 to 6 days.
4 to 6 days. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real short.
Yeah.
It's no different than coming to Minneapolis and doing a week at Acme, really.
4 days, right?
Yeah.
4 days.
There's really no difference.
Easy peasy.
2 shows a night, though?
No,
right?
2 shows. That's it.
Yeah.
Total. One
What?
night. Yeah. I do 2 shows and I'm out, son.
And then you have free
I'm out
time.
in them boat streets.
What a deal.
It depends on the cruise ship you work with. I just lucky with the cruise ship that I'm with. I wouldn't take a cruise that's gonna make me do 5 and 6 shows a week. I'm not there to work.
Yeah. There you go. When I went on one cruise years ago, my first honeymoon, and I don't remember. I think we didn't see a comedy show, but I remember, like some people. Do people dress up when they're coming to see you? I guess at the
Sometimes they have all sorts of things. You know, people want to live their life. It's just like the cruise ships are like little cities.
Yeah,
and people are there living there. They got fancy restaurants, dancing, ballroom dancing. I'm telling you, they legit fill up every hour from like 1 a.m. Like from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. There's literally something to do. They just, every day there's an itinerary slid under your door about all the things that you can do for the day.
No, I'm sure you take advantage of the buffets that are available to you.
Somewhat. It depends, man. Like I pack a lot of protein bars, and then I eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because I feel safe.
International peanut butter and jelly.
I just feel safe. Like I'm not going a deep dive into the buffet. I haven't been a buffet dude. Like I'm a dude, like now I'm at the age where I have to, if I'm gonna eat a bad meal, I gotta know weeks in advance. Like I gotta prepare. I gotta prepare that there's just one bad meal. And I'm like, all right. Like Sunday, I got plans to hang out with some friends and eat pizza.
Okay.
And so like I just been preparing just Caesar salads, salmon, like no bread or anything, because I know like I got my bread for the month coming on Sunday.
Damn, are you gonna share this pizza, or is it just all yours?
Yeah. I'm gonna share it for sure. So yeah, that's just how you gotta.
Final question about the cruise ships, the open bar. Do you have access? Do you have access to that?
No, I get discount there, but I don't. I just don't. I don't. It's weird because if I go to the bar, so that means I gotta see the people that I just performed for, and then those are just 50-50. That's going to be an awful conversation to a mediocre conversation. Very seldom are they like, oh, I'm glad I sat here for you to tell me your thoughts on my comedy and your thoughts on comedy. I'm so glad that I was able to hear your opinions about what you think the state of comedy is. Thank God.
And then they could, you could try to walk away and they could literally follow you home.
They could literally follow me to my room. What floor are you on?
Come on, man.
Are you on? Where you at?
Come on, man.
Where you at? You want to do some shuffleboard later? No thanks. No thanks.
So I saw, did you drive to town?
I did drive to town. I drove to town. I normally fly in. So, but when I'm creating material, my best way to create material is to drive in a car and just talk to myself. So I'll drive, get a coffee, crank the music up, get hyped, and then I'll turn the music down and just slowly just let my mind drift to wherever it is it's going to drift to. Like I'm not like, I'll just start free flowing. I'll just start talking. I'll turn my phone on, record, and just talk, and then see what I create.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know when to go back to, you're not listening back to 6 hours of audio.
No, I'll make notes.
Yeah.
I'll make mental notes, right? I'll make mental notes of it. Like normally, I'm looking to get 3 or 4 talking points out.
Yeah.
And then once I do that, I'll just start hammering down and just start talking it out, trimming the fat, as I call it, getting rid of useless words that has nothing to do with the punchline. Because that's really the importance of a joke is you want to make sure you give just enough information. You don't want to give too much, and you don't want to give too little.
Sure.
So then, but like generally all my jokes are, when they're fresh off the press, they're too wordy. And then I put it out to the audience, and the audience will let me know, yo, you need to get rid of that shit because this does nothing for the joke.
So, for example, the joke about the submarine that was lost, was that something you came up with on the drive up to Minneapolis?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it's only the biggest thing in the news this week.
Yeah, but it's not like I'm different in that way. It's just like people lost their lives, so I'm not like cheering on their death. Right. I'm just making observations about it. But like, people lost their lives, and there's people that care for them, and I just know, like, if something happened to somebody that I knew and care about, and somebody went up on stage and started roasting it, I wouldn't laugh. So that's the pretense that I try to go about. Sure. I may talk about controversial subjects, but I try to take the high road on it.
Have you been taken to task by somebody? Where they're like, man, that was too personal for me.
Oh, yeah, of course. But this is just the world we live in now. Just like, even if you have a quality joke about it, but sometimes it's just the topics alone, it's just trigger words for people without even ever hearing a joke. They hear one thing. They might hear something about race, and automatically they're like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah,
I mean, every time I hear a black guy bring up race, I'm like, come on, again.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But we're like, seriously, we're still being treated like this? For real?
Okay, I'll hear you out. Go ahead. Make me laugh.
Yeah. So it's,
The last time you were here was, last time we did this, I think it was last time we were here, was back in 2021, and it was like a midweek, and you were recording.
I recorded my album, Black Superman.
Where is that? Is that album out right now?
Yeah, that out. Black Super from 2021?
Yeah.
Yes. It's out.
You know where it's not on is the app I searched it on.
Well, because I don't know if you know this, there's been a little bit of a beef between the comedy industry and the people that put out content. So all of my stuff has kind of disappeared. I believe maybe Spotify, you can find it, or Apple. But
I'm going to tell you, it is not on Spotify.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yep.
And then you can't, get on Apple. For sure you can get on Apple, but you can't, you can't, you're not going to hear it on satellite radio or anything like that. That's all negotiation. I hope it comes back, and they people do what's right, but just like a writer's strike. The writers are on strike, and comics are fighting. Everybody wants to get paid. Everybody wants a capitalist society until people start to capitalize. Then it's like, wow, slow down.
Isn't that interesting?
Slow down with all this capitalization. You small letter KB, not big letter KB.
Just keep knocking out the content, all right? We'll take care of the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, you had a big thing come out this week, in the last week.
Yeah, my special was out on YouTube, God's Work. Yeah, I mean, I like
Great
it. I'm
title.
glad I put it out. Yeah, I'm good at God's Work. My buddy BT actually named it because I was running the set. Because I didn't get a chance to run. I felt like this was like the least prepared that I've ever been doing an album or a special because of so much. Because I was, at the end of last year, I was in Canada, as I said, doing this tour for this corporate tour, so I didn't get a chance to, and you had to play it close to the vest.
Sure.
Like you can't really push the envelope like I want. And then my son's senior season started, and I wanted to make sure I was there to catch his games for his senior season. And then I recorded April 1st, and like March, it's like when I really just booked and just got, I don't know, out of 31 days, I probably was on stage 20 to 25 of those days working on the set.
Wow.
Getting it tight.
Cramming.
So, yeah, man. I mean, because once it's out there, it's there. So the universe. And I only did one take.
That's not normal.
One shot, one kill, baby.
Really?
One shot, one kill.
That's not normal at all.
Yeah, Saturday. I did. It was the only time that I could squeeze it in because they have been asking me to do it. Helium Comedy Studios have been asking me to do it for quite a while, and I was just holding off because I just wasn't ready because I just did Black Superman, and I had the material, but it wasn't polished. And then I just went straight shoe shine and just was just like every joke. It was just like, ting, flowing on it, just getting the jokes right. And then, so yeah, but like I put it out there and now it's out there to the universe.
Is there anything in there that's like, what's the thing you're like, man, if there was a second take, this wouldn't be in there?
Maybe one or two little things, but just maybe one or two things I might have said.
Watched it. There isn't even like nobody like the audience seems to participate as far as I saw.
Everybody was in it. They was in it to win it. I promoted it all month and packed it out. And we had a really excellent turnout, and everybody was there. Like, it's great when you have people that's there to see you as opposed to people that just want to come to a comedy show and they go, oh, who's this guy?
Sure.
But if people want to see you, they kind of know what you're about. They kind of know what your subject matter is. They kind of know how you're going to present it, and they're there for it.
Yes.
But if you're doing it and just doing it and no one's there to see, like they're just there to see a comedy show, it's a little different. But so yeah, they were there and they were with me the whole time. What a great group of people that came out. And then because I was definitely pushing the envelope that entire set, and people that seen my set, a few people have let me know that they weren't happy. But I'm good with that. I believe like, you know, obviously, you of course want people to, everybody wants, you know, everyone to love it. But if you don't love it, that's fine. It kind of lets you know you're kind of doing it right, because your comedy shouldn't be for everyone. To me, that's just playing it super safe. You're not talking about anything real.
Yeah.
If you're just staying surface. So I try to go a little bit deeper. I try to see what people's comfort zone is. And then I take that comfort zone and be like, you're a little bit more comfortable than what you think. And then I try to drag them over. It's like those 4th and goal plays now, those 4th and inches.
Oh, they push them push their butt?
They push them over for the first down, the touchdown. So I try to do that with my jokes. I'm just like, come on, just a little bit further. We're almost there. Let's just go and cross the line.
That is a great analogy. That is a fantastic analogy. So I have a bone to pick with YouTube. When I go to YouTube and search Kevin Bozeman, special, these motherfuckers, because somebody buys advertising, you're not the top choice. You're second.
Oh, that's bogus.
Isn't that bullshit? This is something Brandon and I talked about a few weeks ago about when you search things on Google too, you know, like, and you even put the exact name of it, and yet because somebody buys advertising, it'll pop it up. I'm not even going to give this guy any attention, but I will say someone else's special pops up on the line before yours does.
Yeah.
Listen, YouTube, come on.
Listen. Shout out for them to pay for that advertising. Mine is just goodwill, baby. Just go out there and find it. If you don't see my name right away, just believe in yourself. I'm there. Believe in yourself. Just dig a little bit hard. Just search. Just scroll. I'm there. I am there.
That's very funny.
But I would say the best way to go is on YouTube, go to Helium Comedy Studios, who recorded it. And
there we go.
I'll be there.
I looked at a few of the comments, and this is one that, as you're saying, like, you know, having people show up that know you versus like now then someone watches this on YouTube and they say, wow, this is very different than the Kevin I know from his Dry Bar special. Still hilarious, though.
Yeah, it's different. Like, I did Dry Bar as like for one, when I did Dry Bar, I did it right when it first came out, which is total clean comedy, filmed in Provo, Utah, in front of a room full of Mormons. They had no alcohol there. They served lemonade and candy was their serving thing. And no one knew it was going to be this big. I did it to show people that I could work clean, just to diversify my portfolio.
Sure.
But I always tell people this, like, I don't think I'm a clean comic. I don't think I'm a dirty comic. I just try to be a funny comic. And when you're funny, some things are funny as clean, some things is funny as dirty. But for the most part, unless it's sexual, almost all of my jokes can be cleaned up. It's just, I just prefer to present them in a different way. But I don't hang my hat on being a dirty comic or an offensive comic. I just try to speak a truth, and then I try to resolve the truth or the conflict within the punchline.
How would you switch I always fight for blowjobs to something that'll fit on Dry Bar?
That's just me riffing. That's just me riffing. It might turn into something, it might not. But just to let people know, out in these streets, always.
Yes.
I'll always fight. I don't want those to ever go away.
The last time we were here, I asked you, it was towards like fantasy football was about to be happening, and I asked you something about like when I draft my team, should I be worried about who's vaccinated and who's not? And you immediately were like, no, that's ridiculous. But here, how about this year? Do we need to pay attention when we're drafting our fantasy football teams on whether a player has been doing psychedelics? Because did you see the Aaron Rodgers interview?
I know. He wants to listen.
And he's like, look,
knows.
2019, my stats sucked. I tripped out on ayahuasca the next season. Best year ever.
Listen, man, I think, no, I don't think you have to worry about that. I think as long as everything done in moderation, like if you're doing psychedelics right before you head to the stadium and all of a sudden you're like, I got 14 wide receivers open.
If that starts happening, they need to
I got 14 wide receivers. I'm throwing this ball up because my wide receiver is 8'7", giant, just a giant G. Not even a person, just a giant letter G. I'm going to throw this up. Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to find their balance. That's why I try to tell people with comedy, like, when I say like my best writing is one, going to a coffee shop, or two, driving and talking to myself. Like that works for me. That's where I bring out my most great creativity.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean if you're expired comic, that doesn't mean that you should do it. That might not be best for you. So what works for Aaron Rodgers may not work for Patrick Mahomes, or may not work for Joe Burrow. Or if you're struggling, maybe, hey, let's try psychedelics. Like, maybe I will get a little fruity and just out there and just float and just trust.
If it starts catching on right, but like on game day, they need to advertise that. Put it on the ticket. Have it a special game.
Yeah, can you test for mushrooms?
Ayahuasca, for example, is not against their drug policy.
And nor should it be.
So, and mushroom,
it's not enhancing you.
So would mushrooms be? I guess I don't know.
It'd be like if you took a herbal tea. You're like, yeah, it calms me. You're like, no.
That's true.
No.
That's true.
Right? If it's herbal in nature, you just gotta, and I guess people will argue about marijuana, but still, you can't, like that's pretty much gone now anyway. Nobody's really tested for marijuana.
We're a month away from it being legalized in Minnesota.
My favorite thing is Richard Dent, former Chicago Bear, was caught doing drugs, and then they warned him I think he was suspended, and then they came back to test him, and then he was like, nah, I'm not taking this test. And it's like, dude, you have to take this test. We have to see if you're doing drugs. And he was like, hey, I told you I wasn't going to do it no more, so I ain't doing it no more. I'm not taking the test. And the NFL was like, all right, cool.
What?
Test. They want the test. He's like, all right, I'm not taking your test. I told you I'm not going to do it anymore. Y'all told me not to do it. I ain't taking your test.
I wondered, so that clearly worked for Richard Dent in the past. Like, where he was like, just, put his foot down. Like, I'm not doing that for you.
But it's not so corporate. And plus, back then, salaries, they like, getting docked $100,000 is a lot. But getting docked $3.6 million might, like, all right, I'm going to take this test.
That's true.
I'm going to go ahead and take this test.
That's very true. I saw, by the way, just congrats on your son he's going to play basketball in college. A little side note
community
here.
college, Morton Community College. Like, so that's what was another thing.
That's
like
awesome.
They had, my son's team had like the best team in school history. They were 31-3, and they made it to the state tournament, to the Final Four.
In Illinois.
And right before the state tournament, he took a bad step and tore ligaments in his foot. And I'm convinced that if he was on the team, they would have won the state championship. You'll never convince me as a parent and a person that knows basketball, as a disillusioned father and someone who knows basketball. You put those two together, you will not ever be able to tell me, well, this team had no, good sir. No, good sir. I am delusional as a parent, and I know the game of basketball. We win, and he tried to give it a go. But he played 2 minutes, got 2 assists, and forced a turnover, and then had to sit out. We were averaging, toward the end of the year, his team was averaging like 80 points a game. And then in the state tournament, they scored less than 80 points for both games. So he was a huge part of what they did because he played the power forward, but he also played point too. So was great because he could rebound and then just push it. Yeah. Right? Turn around and go. And we had a team full of shooters, and they knew to run, and he was always in attack mode, and he knew if you were open, he was getting you to rock. So, I mean, whatever. It was a bittersweet. I'm glad that we made it to this team made it to the tournament, but I'm also know like there was food left on the table. Sure, there's nothing like, you know what I'm saying. When you're hungry and you leave food on the table, it just if you're full and there's food left on the table, you feel good about yourself.
And he's at that age that had a weird because of COVID, had a weird just sports experience in general, I suppose.
Yeah. A few of those games, it was just watching it on online, streaming it with, and I don't know if you know about high school streaming. It's not exactly going to win any editing awards.
No.
Yeah. So yeah,
I've seen a little bit of that.
But yeah, he's still playing. He's still got love for the game. So he's going to play this year, and we'll see what happens, man. I mean, life is pretty good.
That's awesome.
Life is good.
The final thing I want to, so people need to come out to Acme this week while they can, while there's still tickets.
Please do.
Watch your special
on
YouTube. And then the final thing I want to, Ball Hog podcast, we got to give it a little attention.
Ball Hog, I didn't record this week because I wanted the NBA draft to play out and see all the trades and stuff before I make comments. So it'll probably be out Monday.
Nice.
That podcast will be out Monday, but it's there, and then I will crank out my podcast every week, especially during the football season, because I bring in special guests. A lot of your Minnesota peoples, Chad Daniels, Pete Lee come out as special guests. Roy Wood Jr., the special guest, and they help me handicap. But I'm telling you this, for any other gamblers, I'm telling you this. Regardless of how you feel about the Chicago Bears, take the over on their games because there's going to be a lot of point scoring. They have a dynamic offense and a less than dynamic defense. I'm not telling you what their record's going to be. I'm not going to, ruffle feathers or whatever. Like we're going to kill everybody in the C North. I'm just telling you it's going to be a lot of points scored. Lots.
You heard it here.
Yeah.
And if you win money betting on that, let us know.
You don't even listen. If you win money, just tell people to listen to my podcast. That's it.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
I'm giving this information out. Podcasting is more therapeutic than anything. I get to get my thoughts out. Even like I love doing this podcast with you. But every time I do a show, I'm always at the discretion of the person that's hosting the show.
Sure.
Right? But with me, I could just talk about whatever it is I want to talk about, and I don't have any guests. That's why it's called the Ball Hog.
Wait a minute. You told me to bring all this stuff up. Why are you lying to the listeners? You wrote all this stuff on this paper.
That is not true at all. I say no, good sir.
I mean, your writing's decent, but I mean, I kind of had to fill in the blanks.
Oh, buddy, if I was giving you that, I would be texting. My writing is gibberish at best.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
Thank you very much for doing this. I got to run out of here and go.
I know what you got to do.
Got to go sell.
I know what you got to do.
I got to go sell some beers to Taylor Swift mom fans. Taylor Swift fans, their moms. That's what I meant
Taylor,
to say.
Tell her to come through and do a guest set.
Doors open?
Doors open. I'll let her on.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.